Hey, welcome all. I'm now going to switch things up, go back to hockey. I'm sure there are a few trades that I have missed since I posted my last video, but this is the big one here for yesterday, involving three teams between the Montreal Canadiens, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the San Jose Sharks. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you will probably already know this by now, but this is just my interpretation and my call. So, the three teams, like I said, that were involved in this. The first one was the Montreal Canadiens. So I'm basically just going to be going up and down the list of the teams and the rosters and just saying this person's getting traded to so and so team rather than confusing you and switching back and forth between all of the teams. So Rem Pitlick, who spent the last two seasons in Montreal, he is now heading to the Pittsburgh Penguins. A lot, and I'll keep scrolling down the lists. I honestly think there's only two players that are leaving Montreal, and then the other one is Mike Hoffman. The guy who's basically on the back nine of his career, he's not going to be giving you 40, 50 points. He's been struggling just to even reach the 40-point mark, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. So, an aging guy, could be a veteran guy to help develop some of the younger guys, but don't expect to have the Mike Hoffman from like 2016 or 2017 when he had like a breakout season, respectively, with the Ottawa Senators. So those are the two guys that are leaving Montreal and going to two separate teams. So I should have mentioned Hoffman's off to the San Jose Sharks. Now this is the second time he was traded from a Canadian team to the Sharks back in 2018, I do believe, in the offseason. Hoffman was traded to the Sharks, but then he got flipped to the Florida Panthers. So at least now he can say he's a member of the Sharks rather than getting flipped and going somewhere else. But only time will tell. Maybe the Sharks have plans and they want to redo that again. So I believe that's it for the Montreal Canadiens. I will mention this since I already have the team and the logo. Montreal is also receiving a 2025 second round draft pick from the Pittsburgh Penguins as well. So now off to the Steel City. And we'll go to the goaltending. And don't worry, Tristan Jarry is staying put. Don't have to worry, Penguins fans. He's not going anywhere. But Casey DeSmith, he is heading to the Montreal Canadiens. With that being said, now there's all sorts of speculation that, well, if you have DeSmith and you have Montembeault and Allen, between Allen and Montembeault, who's likely to be traded? If I had to guess, I'd say most likely it's going to be Jake Allen. It's his birthday today, by the way. I believe as someone like that, you probably want to try to flip and then possibly could get a draft pick or a prospect for. Obviously, any team would like to have a veteran goaltender in Jake Allen. And I can see the goaltending tandem for Montreal being Casey DeSmith and Samuel Montembeault going into this upcoming season. Going to the forward group. So, Jan Ruta, I do apologize, it's going to be the forward/defense group. So, Jan Ruta has spent last season with the Pittsburgh Penguins. He is now heading to the San Jose Sharks. And the other member of Pittsburgh that is heading to, I should mention this also. Jeff Petrie is heading back to Montreal. As you can see, he still has his Montreal sweater from the 2021-2022 season. So he spent 1 year in Pittsburgh. Now he's switched back to Montreal. Now there's all sorts of rumors that maybe he's just going to be flipped if Montreal decides to do that. I mean, in my opinion, Jeff Petrie's like a bottom four defenseman anyway, 34, 35 years old. So I'm sure some team could use his leadership. And if you were to flip him before the season were to start, I'm sure you could get a decent prospect or a decent draft pick, which is obviously what Montreal is eyeing or has their eye on and trying to move forward. And the other member of the Pittsburgh Penguins that is leaving the Steel City is Michael Granlund. He is heading to the San Jose Sharks. So the Sharks are loaded up on X amount of people, while the Pittsburgh Penguins are trying to still stay in win now mode. And since they have the Pittsburgh logo on here, they're also going to receive a 2026 third round draft pick from the San Jose Sharks. And speaking of said San Jose Sharks, let's take a quick gander and see who they're getting rid of, which I believe is just the one player, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, sorry. So Dylan Hanelick is a young prospect forward. He is heading to the Pittsburgh side of things. And San Jose is trading away their number one defenseman. He had 101 points, I do believe, just a season ago. So Erik Karlsson, the main guy out of this trade, is heading to the Steel City. So I'm sure that the main reason he wanted to San Jose was for two reasons. One, because they're clearly in a rebuild mode. They still have Couture's contract and Hurdle's contract, I believe, to try to work things out. Unless those guys wanted to stick around in San Jose, I'm not 100% certain on that one. But yeah, it's the big name out of all three of these teams that are being traded, Erik Karlsson. And I believe $10 million of his contract is honestly going on the Pittsburgh side of things. So that's why they gave up a couple of players in this trade with the San Jose Sharks. And I should also mention that the San Jose Sharks are also going to get a 2024 first-round draft pick from the Pittsburgh Penguins. That's all I have to report as of right now. I'm sure that Pittsburgh only has a slight little window open when it comes to trying to contend for a cup. Karlsson's now going to have 4 years left on his contract. Whether he stays there for the next 4 years, it's obviously going to be up to the GM there. But I think this is a great move for all three teams. It's a lot of draft picks are going to be flipped. Some young prospects going to new teams, and obviously some veteran guys getting a change of scenery. So I believe this is a win-win-win for all three teams involved. Until next time, take care.
Bye-bye.